Ladies and gentlemen of the old world, I hope you're all doing well and welcome to this community showdown. It's going to be the Dwarves led by Anticity facing off against Broccoli, Fangirl, and Nurgle. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. Anticity is going to be coming in with a Mass Slayer build, which is super exciting. So apparently he was streaming in a tournament and his people wanted a massive amount of Slayers, so he's going to be going big Slayers. And obviously Slayers, especially the Pirate Slayers, have some utility against Nurgle. They at least have ranged and are fast and can poke. And the Doomseekers, very good against Nurgle, actually. Kind of like a mini Wrathmonger in that situation. But yeah, you get these guys in there. They can rip apart any of the demons, pretty good against the Nurgle infantry in general, and are just a menace to take down. So the build is going to be Slayer Pirates with regular Slayers. We do have a Demon Slayer, which is very fitting here. Considering Epidemius is on the other side, Dragon Slayer, and yeah. So just all the Slayers, all the fun stuff with Giant Slayers mixed in as well. For Broccoli Fangirl, it's going to be Pestigores, which are historically a very good unit against Dwarves. Won't be quite as cost-effective against Slayers since the armor piercing is kind of wasted in the baked-in cost, but still are not bad at all. I mean, they'll trade okay with Slayers. Noxbringer is great. On this map, you can really abuse it. Like, you can hide it behind the trees here. So if they have, like, a cannon, like, deployed, like, right here, right? They're shooting and blasting. You can hide the Noxbringer behind the trees and shoot down the line of the other two objectives here. So I don't hate that choice. A couple Plague Bearers, which will be S tier against the Slayers. Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle, and a big Chad Epidemius, which is super fun to see. So he's going to be there. He's writing the names of the Dwarves down. He's like, all right, we're going to give you guys some loving. He does have the Sands of Sickness for the damage reflection. He can summon Exalted Plague Bearers and does have a little bit of an non-armor piercing explosion, excuse me. And yeah, of course, the Tally of Pestilence, which is his best ability. Over time, he gives nearby demonic units Fizz Res and melee attack. In some matchups, they could be really backbreaking, actually. Now, Furies are a great choice by Broccoli. Furies trade so goddamn cost-effectively with Slayer Pirates. If you put two Furies on a Slayer Pirate, they're going to have a horrific time. So that is a very, very good instinct there by Broccoli. All right, so the main battle line is going to be clashing, but even if you do have advantageous situations versus Anticity, it's still not always going to go great for you, right? So now we do get these guys moving in on the long-drawn Slayer Pirates. So those ones, of course, going to be debuffing the melee attack, but immediately they start taking big casualties. As on the high ground here, we do have the Brotherhood of Grimnir. They're going to be getting into it with the Pestigores, and the Pestigores will not give too much back, honestly. I think they'll probably barely even kill a model before they get massacred. Yeah, those guys are really, really mean. So up on the point, we see the Noxbringer being chased by the Dwarven Hero Corps. So we see the Dragon Slayer and the Demon Slayer, as well as the Giant Slayers coming in with full chub. But the Sands of Sickness have arrived. All right, so that's going to be damage reflection, vigor replenishment, which is probably the most valuable aspect of that. And of course, it does spread to all these nearby units and puts an infection on other pieces. That's what's really good about Epidemius is he actually triggers the Nurgle army abilities very quickly by spreading plagues and whatnot. But Exalted Plague Bearers are called in. They're using their unholy hand grenades onto the side of the Doomseekers, which is incredibly cost-effective, so that's a really nice play by Broccoli as well. Value trading kind of even, though. We do see Furies chasing down Slayer Pirates, and back here, Furies are getting ripped up by Slayers, Pestigores on top of the long-drawn Slayer Pirates. You need to kill these guys to the last model, though, because if you leave one model alive, they're still going to be spreading their dwarven drunkenness with the dwarf rum. So it's pretty funny. I've seen games where there's like one model left with like 0 HP basically, and he still makes a huge difference in a fight. But they are taken down now, so that's a big win for the Broccoli. Now this is going to be the more important fight over here, though. We see the big old Plague Bearers now probably getting buffed up, although, oh boy, Epidemius actually retreating in enemy lines with a big old direct Dragon Slayer chasing him. He is large, so the anti-large damage here is going to be big. Epidemius, not super quick, is going to need some help, either be it infantry or some sort of a monstrous unit to block it up. Because I think Anticity probably realizes a lot of the trades aren't going well, right? Like over here, we see Nurgle winning pretty decisively. Over here, it's going well for Nurgle too. A lot of the Slayers are being dragged down outside of the Doomseekers. But if Anticity can, take down Epidemius, then suddenly it's a game that he can win. The leadership penalty on the Nurgle army in tandem with just taking away an expensive character is going to be very nice. So Epidemius fighting with his Plague Bearers and the Tally of Nurgle. Let's see what it's buffed up to now. So they're currently getting 17% Fizz Res. Crazy, crazy strong. As well as 15 melee attacks. So these Plague Bearers are going to become absolute Terminators, right? Super fun stuff. Noxbringer also in here, fighting in melee. I mean, there's not much to shoot at, so using the Noxbringer to support Epidemius would be the correct play here. We do see a Fleshy Abundance here. Very, very good stuff. That's going to be buffing up Epidemius. But yeah, using the Noxbringer to cycle charge the Demon Slayer over and over, but not in sustained combat, but just cycle charge and buy time for Epidemius to get away and keep Benny hilling around the formation is how you win this, right? On the outside, we do see Dwarves getting a little bit crunk over on this objective. A couple Marauder Horsemen of Nurgle trying to hold it down here, but there is a chance that the Doomseekers are going to be able to carry the day. Frolickers Bubonic. Okay, so these guys do have the blister back thing where they reflect damage. It's only 10 damage reflection, but still not irrelevant against the high DPS of a Slayer unit who do have 48 weapon strength, right? More Slayers being called in. Furies are going to be the answer for Nurgle, and value trading is pretty even, but again, that does favor Nurgle because they have healing. But if Epidemius gets taken to Pound Town, that could be all she wrote. So big old buffs and debuffs going down. Cloud of Erosion destroys the ammunition, of course, but there's no ammo here, and also lowers the armor. And yeah, Epidemius is hanging in there like a champ. I mean, he's a good fighter, too. He hits hard. He's got high combat stats, almost 60 melee defense, 420 weapon strength. 420 blaze it, bro. Epidemius definitely 420s it. But he's going to be fleeing away, while the Noxbringer does its best to use its mass to bully these units. Plague Bearers with the Giga Chad stats, with the huge Tally of Pestilence, really actually grinding down Doomseekers, which you would assume Doomseekers would counter them pretty hard. The Plague Bearers have incredibly high weapon strength, and when you give them that extra melee attack, the Fizz Res isn't relevant here because Doomseekers do magic damage, but everything else is pretty good. Epidemius needs to stay close, though, to continue giving those buffs. On the other side, Anticity is going to be winning the engagements here. Marauder Horsemen are kiting. Nurgling's battling it out. And Nurgle's going to need some good quality troopers to get these points back. Maybe a couple more waves of Pestigors. Yeah, so right now Anticity is in a better position considering he has objective control. He's got objective 1, 2, and of course 3 belongs to Nurgle for now. Points are very close, but this is a close fight here. And the Brotherhood of Grimnir might be able to put this game on their back. I think that they'll be able to kill the Plague Bearer super effectively. And Epidemius could be in trouble getting hunted. And oh, this is the turning of the tide. I think Nurgle's starting to slip here. Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle is getting the biz. And taking away that Fleshy Abundance from Epidemius, who's pretty low, is going to be a very strong play. Fury is being used on the battlefield as Marauder Horsemen continue kiting. The Blisterback Nurglings versus Slayers, a very fun fight indeed. A little bit of crossfire coming down as we do see double Fury out in the field. What Nurgle really just needs is infantry, because Slayers do not trade cost effectively into infantry unless you're a Doomseeker. So more of those, like Slayer Pirates will also really dislike shooting at like Marauder. Like if there was a lot of Marauders here in this Nurgle build, it would be very cool. But man, do I love seeing Epidemius, by the way. Epidemius is one of my favorite kind of characters to try and sneak into builds. But I think the Kraken King has probably done enough to take over this game. Demon Slayer's getting really low, though, fighting to the bitter end. Is he going to get the demon before he goes down? Epidemius might be rolling in on his mobility scooter. No, he's going to be fleeing across. All Nurgle really has, though, is the Marauder Horsemen and a couple Furies on the field. So I don't see them coming back. Chad Demon Slayer with 55 HP, sending the demon back to the warp. You gotta love it, guys. You gotta love it. All right, so we're going to do fast forwarding. I suspect there's going to be like an end game here in a moment. I mean, it's really just one Toad unit, which Brotherhood of Grimnir and Slayers and Doomseekers are just going to rip to shreds. I mean, the Brotherhood of Grimnir has 50 weapon strength with magic damage. They're going to give these Pox Riders the dirty. I mean, the Pox Riders will also fight back okay. Epidemius trying to pop the Sands of Sickness. I don't know if he's quite in range to get that affecting these units. I don't think so. Could it be terribly relevant there? Slayer Pirates and the remnants of the regular Slayers cleaning up all the issues on the flanks, and now we see Pestigors being called back in, as Epidemius is going to be going for the kill. And did he get the Dwarven Lord? Where's the Dwarven Lord? Is it hiding? Yeah, you know, that Slayer, he's done his thing. He's hanging out in the trees. Not the most lore-accurate Slayer, but from a tactical perspective, very good. Epidemius sitting at, what, 4,000 HP here. Getting attacked pretty good as Slayer Pirates shooting into the Pox Riders. And I just think this one's over. I think Anticity's got the triple cap. Nurgle's looking really raggedy here. Nurglings on the outside and more Nurglings as well. And Pestigor's arriving, I guess, maybe? Is there a hope for Nurgle here in this game? With Epidemius still in the field, you know, he's buffing the Pox Riders up to be very powerful, actually. So these Pox Riders suddenly have, like, what, 45 melee attack with a bonus versus infantry. That's very respectable, which is quite good. Dwarven Lord hiding in the bushes. Nurglings grabbing the outside point. I'd love to see a Nurgle come back here. And remember, Nurgle has done a ton of healing. I think if they had maybe kept their caster alive, it could be a different game, right? Like, because with that caster, getting a big overcasted Fleshy right here to heal Epidemius up to heal cap, and then getting these Pox Riders, which are like an 1,100 gold unit, if I'm not mistaken, up to or about 1,000. I can't quite remember what they are. But yeah, getting them up to like half health, if not 60-70%, would be a game changer. Outside here, the Dwarves did actually lose that objective, which is kind of funky, but now they're going to be wrestling it back with the remnants of what they have there. Pestigors versus Long John Slayer Pirates. Nurgle actually getting the outside objective back. Are we cooking a little bit? I don't know. Maybe we are. Maybe the Broccoli Fangirl still's got some fight in him. We will have to see. So Nurglings and Nurglings, and advancing up are the Doomseekers and the dreaded Dragon Slayer. All right, so here they come. He is sitting at 55 HP, just hanging out in the trees in his loincloth. The other dwarves are like, hey man, what's up? All right, dude, have fun out there. Slayer's running up to the point. Not going to be terribly effective at taking down the Nurglings. They will, of course, win, but from a cost perspective, it's not the best. And maybe old Epidemius, right, can make a difference, because Nurglings are normally kind of like haggard fighters, but when you put them with Epidemius, they become very decent. 39 melee attack is extremely high. And yeah, they have not a high model count, but enough to drag down these Slayers. So maybe Epidemius is going to be able to work some magic. On the outside, it is going to be Pestigores versus Long John Slayer Pirates being worn down and taken down by just a massive core there. And Doomseekers, nice tech by Anticity, knowing he needs to get rid of the infantry. It looks like some Slayers did overchase to the backside of the battlefield. The dreaded tactical reserves, you know, they do their thing. Anticity's Lord is surviving. I know a lot of you guys like to give him some trouble for that, but hey, man, he kept that Lord. Okay, there's still time. He's moving the Lord back up. There's still time for him to fall here. We will see what ends up happening. All right, Epidemius is disintegrating, negative 32 leadership. Are the hopes and dreams of Nurgle crushed with the fall of the Tallyman here? Come, Mr. Tallyman. And it looks like he is going to be running. Yeah, there he goes. Negative 9, and yeah, he's done for. Farewell, sweet prince. The tally is over. And yeah, now I think we can really say it's over. That was a really fun match, though. Like, Anticity with a super forbidden off-meta Mass Slayer build, and then, you know, Broccoli coming in with like a really fun build as well. An Epidemius Plaguebearer kind of core with a Noxbringer, like using the trees, the line of sight, potential cannons. Holy shit. Okay, no wonder. Yeah, this was straight up like a demon party build. So this is extremely off meta. Like, this is really fun and really creative. And like, I wonder if these two coordinated before the game and were like, yeah, let's bring some weird builds, right? And for anybody who's like learning the game and wants to know the builds I've used to pretty good success against Dwarves with Nurgle, we'll give you that. I'm sure Broccoli knows what the normal builds are, but it's always cool to kind of share that for people who are looking to learn the game. All right, so Nurgle versus Dwarves. I like this build a lot. It basically uses 2 Exalted Heroes on a Chariot and a Nurgle Sorcerer, Noxbringer, Forsaken, Pestigores, Furies, and a single Plague Ogre actually to split push points is very, very good. But this works well, but it needs to be on the right map. If it's a map that's like a cannon map, you probably don't want to do this build because, yeah, you can get cannonballed. But if it's a map where you're not expecting a ton of cannons, you can do well. Otherwise, you can go very, very wide and just kind of try and stuff them in with mass infantry. But yeah, these Exalted Heroes on Chariots are really disgusting against Dwarves. They do a shit ton of damage. And of course, you have Forsaken. Forsaken rip Slayers apart. They give them a really, really hard time. So, all right, folks, take care of yourselves. We'll see you all on the other side. And that is it for today.